Alright, so Flourish by Martin Seligman. I was very intrigued by this one since it's written by one of the founders of the positive psychology movement, but unfortunately, this book was not what I was expecting at all. The reason I read positive psychology books and psychology books in general is because I want practical advice that I can immediately start applying to my life. But this book is essentially a story of how positive psychology started, followed by a lot of examples/bragging of how successful it's been. It's just such a niche interest that I can't recommend it to almost anyone. Even I, a person who has an entire YouTube channel about positive psychology, found myself wishing this book was something else. It's a shame as well because the first chapter was actually really good. In this chapter, Seligman describes his updated model of well-being, the PERMA model. It's something I outlined in the first video on this channel, because it's a really great model that explains the 5 essential parts of well-being. This chapter was very practical and interesting, and it just left me wishing the rest of the book followed suit. Sure, there are some practical tips and exercises sprinkled throughout the rest of the book, but it's just not enough. They're mostly things you can find elsewhere in a lot more detail. So overall, this book isn't a book on well-being and how to achieve it, but more a history lesson on the founding of positive psychology, and quite a dry one at that. Out of the little exercises sprinkled throughout this book, I'll leave you with one which I've been doing and enjoying a lot, which is strength journaling. At the end of every day, write down 3 ways you used your signature strength that day. You can discover yours on the Via Character website if you haven't already. It's very simple, but it's an exercise that helped me connect to my signature strengths in a way that I hadn't before. I've been constantly having this realizations from this exercise like, oh yeah, I do love learning because I keep doing this and this, or oh yeah, I am quite good at judgment because of this decision I made. I hope you enjoyed this short book review. Let me know if you'd like to see more. I'm thinking of reviewing Martin Seligman's other book, Authentic Happiness, soon, as I've heard it's a lot more practical than this one.